Hello, I'm Hilary and I'm here to read you another story. So whether you're snuggled with your favourite blanket or favourite toy, today's story is George's Dragon. The moment George looked into Sparky's big, friendly purple eyes, he knew. "That's the pet I want," he said. "What, that funny-looking lizard?" asked George's dad. "Sparky is a baby dragon," explained the pet shop man. But George's mum and dad did not hear. "Please, can I have him? It's my birthday," begged George. "I suppose lizards aren't too much trouble," agreed George's mum. And with a smile, Sparky leapt happily into George's open arms. On the drive home, George and Sparky read the leaflet from the pet shop. "Your important dragon information." "What's in the leaflet?" asked George's mum. "I hope lizards behave themselves." George looked at Sparky and they both grinned. Ta-da! At George's birthday party, Sparky lit all the candles on the birthday cake in one go. And the week that followed was one big happy adventure for George and Sparky. Yo-ho-ho! They played pirates. Sparky made a fantastic first mate. Yo-ho-ho! He made an even better pirate ship. Zoom! They played astronauts, and Sparky was a brilliant space rocket. But best of all, they loved being together. "Good night, Sparky," George said each night as he climbed under the covers. "Snuggly-goo," yawned Sparky from the foot of George's bed. But there was one problem, a growing problem. "That lizard has grown huge," gasped George's dad. "Gets bigger and bigger every day," George's mum sighed. "All pets grow," said George. "You'll stop growing soon, won't you, Sparky?" Sparky breathed in and tried to look smaller. He let his breath out, whoosh, and accidentally singed the curtains. "That's another thing," grumbled George's mum. "Everything's covered in scorch marks." "Sparky doesn't mean to do it, do you, Sparky?" said George. "No hopla!" squeaked Sparky, and he hung his head in shame. But things got worse, much worse. Snap! Everything he sat on broke. Oops! Every time he got excited, he flew, usually too high. Zzz! Whenever he tried to help, he set something on fire. Sparky was a disaster zone. "If things don't improve," said George's mum, "it's back to the pet shop for him." "Never!" cried George, hugging Sparky tightly. "Noopy news," whimpered Sparky sadly. They could not bear the thought of being apart, so Sparky tried extra hard to be good. He helped with some dusting. Crash! Smash! He helped bring in the newspaper, but that didn't go very well either. And trying to dry the washing was a terrible mistake. "Enough!" shouted George's dad. "Sparky goes back to the pet shop this weekend." "But Sparky has to stay," George pleaded. "He's my best friend." A huge purple tear slid down Sparky's scaly cheek, but George's parents' minds were made up. The next morning, though, something out of the ordinary happened. The car wouldn't start. "Oh, how will I get to work?" worried George's mum. "How will I do the shopping?" fretted George's dad. "This is your big chance, Sparky," George whispered. "Just be very, very careful." "Hoppity!" sparkled. George's dad had never enjoyed shopping so much. George's mum had a big grin on her face when she came that evening. "Sparky's been so helpful today," George's dad beamed. "He's been wonderful," agreed George's mum. "He really is a lovely lizard." "Does that mean Sparky can stay?" George asked hopefully. George's mum and dad nodded. "Yippee!" yelled George. "Do-ba-boom-boom!" whispered Sparky, being careful not to open his mouth too wide. And from that day on, Sparky was an extremely well-behaved dragon. Most of the time. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I'll see you again soon with another one. Bye.